Capcom was founded in 1979. Their name a shortened form of Capsule Computer for the arcade machines they produced. Indeed, the arcade is where Capcom reigned, becoming known for titles like 1942, Ghosts and Goblins, and Street Fighter. 1987 is when the company finally applied their talents to the home console space. Their debut console title was Rockman, a side-scrolling platformer starring an Astro Boy-esque robot kid who fought other, scarier robots. With a development team of only 6 people, much of the game's responsibilities fell on the shoulders of director Akira Kitamura and Keiji Inafune, who designed Rockman's characters and enemies, and became the most prominent name associated with the franchise over time. Rockman was originally named for the music pun when paired with his counterpart roll, as in rock and/or roll. But that pun would fall to the wayside for the game's American release. Stateside, producers insisted the game's name be changed to Mega Man, a pleasingly alliterative title that would hopefully appeal to a wider audience. And yet, even that stellar name change wasn't enough to move many units in the US, at least partially due to the game's frankly horrendous box art. But over time, strong word of mouth made it a hit, and many sequels followed in the years to come. Mega Man became a character beloved by gamers of all stripes, introducing the concept of non-linearity into a level-based game for the first time, as players were able to play the game's 6 stages in any order, receiving new and varied weapon types for each success. While later entries would refine and polish the gameplay, the formula was more or less set in stone, or perhaps rock, right from the jump. Today, we're tackling all the Robot Masters in an effort to best Dr. Wily, or die over and over again trying. It's Mega Man! It's a video game podcast.
Wow!
And there's so much to discuss. One of us knows all about them.
That's you.
And the other one's a dunce.
That's me.
You're gonna learn about the very best games with 2 annoying dorks.
Fatality.
From asteroids to Zelda, from adventure to Zork. We have no life, and we feel no shame. We need your help, 'cause we're bad with games. Bad with games. Welcome to the show. My name is Jonathan.
My name's Will.
And the two of us, why, we are
Bad with games. And this is a good game to be bad at this week. We got an exciting episode.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah?
to be bad on Bad with Games.
Whoa. Is that our catchphrase?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Our catchphrase straight out of a 90s soda commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have that
that's like-
Pepsi. Nah, it's good to be bad with Pepsi. You know?
And I didn't like it as much when you actually spelled it out.
Oh.
Like, it sounded like you were being cool and rad, and now it just sounds like you're a middle-aged guy worrying about your weight. Oh, I shouldn't. You know?
No, but it's because, it's because your mom is like, no Pepsi before dinner. And you're like, fuck
okay,
you,
okay,
Mom. And you just chug it.
Yeah, there you go. I'm young.
Yeah. On today's episode, we are going to be covering Mega Man, or for our friends over in Nippon, you may know it as Rockman.
Wow.
But here in the States, released in 1987 for the NES, it's Mega Man. Rockman, 1 word. Mega Man, 2 words. What do you think about that?
Good stylistic note.
I mean, why
is it
not
true
keep
that-
it as 1? Why not? I don't know. Go ahead. What's your question?
Aren't all the let me look at this again. Yeah, because all the other men in the game
Right.
are 1 word as well. So it is a little odd that Mega Man gets 2 words.
Oh, are they Cutman, Gutsman, and all that? They're all 1 word?
In the manual, they're 1 word.
They are 1 word in the manual. Yeah, and I see that. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, what the fuck? What's going on over there with the syntax? Is that what
Maybe
that
they were
is?
just like, I guess. They're just thinking people would look at it and think, is that like Megaman?
Now hold on, because now I'm looking online, and the summary of the
Mhm.
game outside of the manual, they're written as 2 words. I think that may be a thing
The
that got
fuck?
changed. I think that's just a
Mm.
manual translation where somebody, remember, back then there was no oversight
Mm.
at all on these things. I think
Not gonna lie,
officially it's 2 words.
I don't like that as much. I think that they should be one word.
I don't know, because then you run into the problem because there's no hyphen. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
Superman is like that,
yeah,
but it could
that's
be
fine.
like
Like, wait,
Iceman.
there's supposed to be like Elec Man, and then there's a space in between them. What the fuck is that? No,
Yeah,
that
Elec
sucks. Elec
Man.
Man.
No, what do you say? No, don't say. I guess no, Elec
Uh,
Man.
El- Elec Man sounds gross. Like, ew. That makes me want to vomit just saying that. My mouth does not like that shape. No, no, no. Elec Man's much better.
Well, I don't like it because I don't. It sort of makes me think of electing a man to a position of power, and that's something
Well,
I
I didn't.
am against.
So there's no T in there.
I know, it just that's what it makes me. It's what it sounds like. Elect man.
Well, it
No,
doesn't
I
sound
would
like that
never
because there's
elect
no
a
T
man.
sound in there.
It sounds
So
like
it
it.
doesn't sound
It
like
doesn't
that.
sound the same. It's
Sure, but there are
similar.
plenty of okay, but there are plenty of words that sound like other words if you change how they
I
sound.
disagree.
Mm.
I don't think there are. I don't think you can prove it. Well, yeah, we'll get into all of the mans soon, okay?
Yes.
We have 7 mans today, including Mega himself.
Mm-hmm. And then
This
2 men.
That's
7
right.
mans and 2 men.
And 1 girl as well.
Is she in this game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wouldn't see
Oh,
her, but
really?
she's at the very end.
Okay. Okay.
She is in the game. All right. Now, Mega Man is from Capcom. This is the first Capcom game we are covering on the show, which I think is exciting. And we'll talk all about the history of the game and our experience with it. If you're on YouTube, you can watch us play, youtube.com/@badwithgames. If you're not, you can listen to us as an audio podcast. And if you like the show, go to patreon.com/badwithgames. We do bonus episodes where we talk about other non-video game stuff and sometimes video game stuff too on the Patreon. It's awesome. All right. let's
It's
let's
often better than the main show, I'd say.
Sure. And let's also, I'm going to say this too, because we discussed it. We've decided we are going to do some kind of a special Extra Life charity stream, and our decided date for it right now is December 12th, 2025.
Mm. All right. It's good you say that. I think that probably fits better at the end of the episode, but I would have forgotten
A
by
lot
then
of
that we
people
decided that.
will
So,
stop listening by then. I think it's sometimes when you're
mm,
promoting something, you want to put it in people's heads at the forefront.
right. Right, but also then they stop listening before the episode even we're 5 minutes in and people are just like they're not even we're done
That's
here.
why we front load it with 2 minutes of me talking about the game. That makes them
Mm.
think, oh, we're really getting into it. We're cutting the bullshit. And then we trick them, and then it's 14 minutes of bullshit. And they have to listen.
Only 14, huh? Man, we're really slipping.
All right, I was underselling it. Anyway, stay tuned we'll give you more details on that in the coming weeks. All right,
Hmm.
great. Mega Man, I'm very curious. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's an answer to this from you that I might surprise me. We always talk about, of course, first our histories with the games.
Hmm.
Have you any familiarity, passing or otherwise, with the Mega Man series? Or perhaps, I know you're a bit of a Japanophile, maybe you do know it as Rockman.
Do we have a special name for the history segment?
Yes, you mean our personal histories?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have like the
Uh-huh.
covering it or whatever,
Right.
and the
Right.
MMO. Like, what's the history segment
I mean,
called?
you
Is it?
know what traditionally it has been called in the past.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking. What did we call it?
You do remember. You're just
I do.
something short-circuited in your brain, I think.
It happens sometimes.
This is,
Yeah.
of course, the background royale.
Oh, okay. So it was just one of the Royales. Okay.
Yeah, so
I
far.
thought maybe we moved it away from the Royale.
I haven't. That's why I really wasn't saying a name. We just haven't come up with a better one.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe something like Her Story, only it needs to be involved with video games instead of women. So like I don't know where to go with it, but there's some I don't know, just bouncing ideas around.
I was trying to think of something like you have like a your play history,
Hmm.
like a game, like yeah,
Interesting.
it'll tell you how many hours you've played a game. It's your play
Right.
history, but I think there's just too many
Yeah.
steps to get across what that means.
Yeah. No, it's not like catchy or clever and it's too convoluted for to be worth it.
We will talk
All
about it
right,
every
so
week for 5 minutes, though. Go ahead.
yeah, my history with Mega Man. So I know a little bit about Mega Man. I myself have never played any Mega Mans. Um, I have a close friend who got pretty big into Mega Man in like late high school, so I've seen a decent amount of it played and talked about. I don't remember much of it, but I watched some of the Mega Man TV show as well, the old cartoon. Um, I know enough about Mega Man to like before I came in, I kind of understood the basic idea of like how these games work, right? What like the general play patterns are, like what the fact that you've got all these different stages you can do in any order, the fact that bosses are technically super effective against each other, the like man naming convention, the like difficulty and all of that. Um I also recognize multiple man names and character designs, and I would have. This is not one of those cases where you'll talk about what was it? What the fuck was the one that was originally Mario 2 that everybody knows but I don't?
Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah, yeah. This isn't a situation like that where I would be like, I've never heard of this and I don't know. Like I would like if you used Rockman and Mega Man interchangeably, I wouldn't bat an eye. I would just understand that those were the same character. Um, but as far as actually playing Mega Man, that is not something I have done
Until this week.
until this week.
Um,
I totally.
Jesus. It'd be great to find out that you've just been faking it every week. You've never played any of these games.
All the footage I give you is just like I go
You
find
just
some
find it on
streamer on
YouTube, yeah.
Twitch and yeah, and pull it. Let's see if I can pull that off some week.
I wouldn't even be mad, honestly. It'd be great. Okay.
Honestly, it would be more effort than just playing the damn
Yeah,
game.
yeah, probably. You just pay some kid $20 to play a game for you every week. Do it worse. It's not believable enough. You're like a bully in high
That's
school,
true, yeah.
getting someone to do your homework for you.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you say you had a friend who got into Mega Man and you've watched a bunch of Mega Man, uh, because I want to know what exactly that means, because there are several sort of branches of Mega Man. There's the just plain Mega Man games that are primarily on the NES. Then there's Mega Man X. There's Mega Man Legends. There's the Mega Man Battle Network games. There's a lot of different flavors of
Mhm.
Mega Man. Was this mostly like these, like the NES, this style of Mega Man that we're talking about this week you've seen?
So, all of these titles that you're dropping, I recognize the name of, and I'm certain I've seen gameplay footage of all of these Mega Mans. I do know that these NES Mega Mans were part of this thing, but to be honest, they all kind of blend together in my memory.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
But like you know, uh as sort of an answer, yeah, it did involve Battle Network and X and yes, it did involve some of these NES games as well. I've definitely seen these like gameplay of all of these and have some idea of it.
Got it. Got it. Of course, Battle Network was on the Game Boy Advance.
Mhm. Mhm.
So are you watching over someone's shoulder? You little
Well, maybe I didn't
creep.
see that. But maybe I was just in the room while it was being played.
Hey,
I don't
maybe
know.
they had a Game Boy player for the GameCube. They could have put it on the TV.
That's that's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, of course, now there's a collection of those you can play on the TV. Doesn't matter. Okay, that's great. I'm glad we have that established. I have never watched the cartoon, so At some point we'll get to that, and that
Yeah.
will be interesting. The cartoon came a handful of years later, so there are like more elements in the cartoon from things that aren't really present in this initial game. I
Mhm.
I am a big Mega Man fan. It's not something I grew up with because I'm so young.
Right.
I came to it slightly later in life, which now it's upsetting because now I can say I came to something later in life, and that means 20 years ago. Like it's still, I don't know. I don't want to think about it, but I became a fan of Mega Man, particularly the NES games. I've played some Mega Man X. I don't think I did play. I played a little Mega Man Legends. That's the 3D one, but not really. It's really this old school classic formula that I was kind of. There was a period where I was really into them and playing them a lot and enjoying them, and I still enjoy them. And here we are again. I have not gone back to play this in a long time, this original one. Certainly not all the way through. So it was a bit of a refresh moment for me. And I'm excited to talk about it with you. And I'm curious to hear what you think about it. But before we get to that, we got to cover it. It's time for the box art breakdown.
Ooh, I think box art breakdown is a better name. But yeah, no, you know what? I like that full construction, right?
Mmm.
What do you do in the box art breakdown? You cover it. That I like.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Now we got a special box art this week.
Mhm.
This is, you've seen it. The people know. One of the most infamous video game box arts of all time. Maybe the most. I think this is one of the most. This is right up there with Phalanx. You know Phalanx?
I don't.
Phalanx is just a generic side-scrolling space shooter on the Super Nintendo, but for some reason the cover of it is an old guy on the porch with a banjo. Like a photo of a guy on a
What
porch
the
with a
fuck?
banjo.
That kind of rules.
It's the only reason anyone gives a shit about that game, but it's great. Anyway, we're probably not going to cover Phalanx, so I feel comfortable letting you know about that now. Um, but Mega Man. Now, the story behind this box art apparently is that the release of Mega Man in the US was sort of rushed. They quickly decided we need to get this out for American audiences, and we don't have a lot of time. And supposedly the artist was given like one day to come up with this box art. According to this game makers documentary episode, they drew it in about 6 hours, which seems
Pretty good.
long.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Drawing is hard. There's a lot
sure,
of details in this pick.
right.
I,
So of
I
course,
could see this taking 6 hours to get one draft fully, fully sketched out and colorized. And
yeah, sure. So if you're listening to this, you can look up the image, or if you're on YouTube, you can see it right now. But yeah, it is a portrait of ostensibly Mega Man, crouched in the foreground, holding a some kind of a pistol like gun in his left hand. And in the background is some kind of a city. uh,
I'm I'm not gonna lie. I kind of get AI vibes off of this. Like, one of the big tells with AI is that when you start looking closely at background details, you start to realize that they don't really make sense. Like, they sort of form the idea of an image, but like if a real human made it, right, they would understand what each detail is doing in the picture as opposed to just putting them there. And when I look at this, like, the more you try to look at the details of the background, the more you kind of realize that none of them like are anything. And they don't really come together into anything either. They're just kind of there.
mm.
Like, here's a palm tree growing out of nothing. Uh this Like, if I look at this one section underneath there, it kinda looks like a robot body with legs, but as I move up, I realize it's definitely more like a house or something.
Hmm.
I think I see a spider web coming off of here,
Could
but it can't be that.
be a satellite dish. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe? I don't know.
Behind Mega Man, there are big yellow circles on the ground. I have no idea what those are supposed to represent. Are they lights? Are they are they platforms he's jumping across maybe? I get are they the little robots with the hard hats in the game? Probably not, because
Hmm.
I bet this guy
Yeah,
didn't
there's no
look at those.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's no way, yeah.
The one in the
I
background
mean,
looks
this
like this has a base to it. You can see like
yeah.
almost like a screw-like bottom
Huh.
to it.
Yeah, interesting. Now, if I look at this gun that he has, first of all, it is like a gun, right? It's not like,
Yes,
his Mega Buster or whatever. It's not some kind of robot cannon arm mount. It's just like he has a gun.
that's right.
Um also, I I can't quite figure out the interaction between the gun and his hand. Like, how is he where I don't understand. Like, it doesn't quite look like it lines up with his
No,
hand.
I don't.
The
If
grip.
anyone's just listening to this, I don't know if we've really painted the picture here. Just the
No.
main thing that makes this box art so memorable and oft discussed, aside from the fact that I think it helps that the Mega Man franchise became very successful. If this had been like a one-off game, probably nobody would care. But the fact that such a beloved property began with such a horrible box art, it feels
Mhm.
interesting. Um, the Mega Man on this cover, if you are picturing
Yes.
Mega Man in your head, that is not what this guy
No.
looks like.
Yeah, we've kind of been circling around this with all the extraneous details rather than starting at the
Yeah.
main point, but the problems with this Mega Man are mostly the same problems. His pose, you said he's like squatting, and I guess that's the best description of what he's doing, but I can't really describe what he's doing, nor do I think I could imitate it. I don't think it's a physically possible stance. I can't quite tell how big his arms and legs are, how much is perspective and what size. Are his arms just like 2 feet? Are his shoulders like 2 feet in front of his chest and head? Or are they just really bulbous? And there's like large creases in I don't know. His face is like hyper realistic. It's such an I don't know what to do with any of it.
So Mega Man in the games is he's like a boy. He's like an Astro Boy sort of a character.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so he's
Yes.
like a child robot boy who has a little blue suit and he's small and he has a gun arm and he's all blue. And here it looks like a 44-year-old man in a mostly yellow outfit with blue highlights and a fucking weird helmet. There's no indication
Yeah.
this is a robot. It just looks like a man
No.
in a jumpsuit,
Yeah.
like an X-Man or something.
Right. Yes. And like I'm talking about I can't quite tell how much of the pose is like the body or perspective or size, but it does feel like that's kind of hinting at the idea cuz like Mega Man, he's like as you said, a little Astro Boy robot guy, like a cute little Japan thing. And like this looks like maybe there's supposed to be the implication that he's a big buff dude, but
Yeah.
it's hard to tell if he actually is or if it's just fucked up.
I mean, if somebody told you, "Hey, draw a Mega Man,"
Mhm.
you might, if without knowing what that meant, you might go more in this direction. But like, did he must have had some sort of reference art. He must have had access to a screenshot of the game, right?
I think
Like,
maybe if you made his face gray or green and gave him big underbite fangs, he'd have really, really good build for like a troll.
yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Does he kind of look like Elon Musk a little bit? Nah, I don't no,
Huh.
forget. I don't know.
No, yeah, no, I see where you're coming from.
I don't know.
He's been abusing growth hormone and he fucked up his body.
Does look like he maybe has a unibrow. I, his
Could be.
his face is just so stern. He looks so serious. And yeah, there's no. The whole thing looks very sketched in. There's no. It doesn't look like it was. I'm not an artist, so forgive me. Don't worry about anything I learned in school. This was. It doesn't look like this was really inked. There's no like bold outlines or
Yeah.
shadows. It looks like the rough sketch that had an initial coloring just for demonstration purposes, and then nobody ever finalized it. It's just somebody made this.
Yes.
It's a mock-up. It does not look. This was not meant to see the light of day.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I kind of feel like, given this story, if he made it in a day, he probably got like one still image of the Mega Man sprite. And this is kind of the days where, it's like, okay, well, you take Pac-Man, and what's he supposed to look like? Well, he's that thing on the arcade, maybe. I don't know. They probably don't look like they do in the game. That's just the
Yeah.
pixel version.
Right. He's trying to sell games. He doesn't really care if it's
Right.
accurate.
Right. I
Or this is just his style, and he's like, I don't know, you want me to do it? That's what I did. You like it? I guess you did. Okay. I don't blame this artist at all. It's not his
yeah.
fault.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love it. I kind of really like it a lot.
It is just absolutely wild to look at. It's a thing to behold. Um yeah.
W Even just well, I was gonna move on to,
Yeah.
like, the
Let's move
way the
on.
text is laid out on this box,
Mm.
because it's so like, I don't know, just that also seems very awkward and, like, thrown in, like, just a 12-year-old making a PowerPoint for their middle school class. State of the art, high resolution graphics. Licensed by Nintendo, big space, for play on the line break, Nintendo Entertainment System. Just it's so it doesn't I don't I don't understand any of the design on this cover.
The so yeah, the main image itself is in a frame, and the background has these two red and blue grids that look like they're just floating in a void like a Tron world or something. I don't know what that is meant to represent either, other than just computers. I don't know.
Yeah, no clue. No
It's
clue.
it's strange. Now, in contrast to this, we can look at the original box art from Japan of Rockman, and that is
Mhm.
much closer to what you'd think this should look like. That is an actual cute anime style Mega Man with all the robot masters behind him,
Mhm.
and it's much simpler, much cleaner lines, and actually looks like what the game is. You know?
And I guess they couldn't use this image because
Too
Americans
cute.
don't like cute stuff.
We
Yeah,
no,
we
we don't
want
like that.
cool badasses blowing shit up
Well,
with
it
guns.
was called we changed the name, and they only had one version of the image with the name as part of it, so they
Oh, I
had
see.
to do it from scratch.
And they couldn't just be like, "We're gonna trace it because we have the rights to it anyway."
Yeah. No, it had to be especially in 1987, I'm sure they said, "We can't market a game to boys that looks cute like that."
Yeah,
Or even just not even necessarily cute, but probably, this is before, like, anime hadn't really taken off in the
yeah.
United States, so
Oh, yeah, yeah, no way, you had to be a total loser to like anime in this year.
Oh, yeah. You were getting VHSs of fucking
Yeah.
Sailor Moon like a freak.
Yeah, no, 100%. You were doing weird VHS shit and being like, "I don't speak." Like, translating them line by line because I can't get an English version or whatever, and I'm using my fucking dictionary or whatever.
But
God,
I still
Jesus.
think the Mega Man on this cover looks kinda weird. He's, like, weirdly chubby. Like, he's just very,
Mhm.
like, round and pudgy. I don't know, something about his proportions is still sort of strange to me. It's obviously far and away much better than the other one.
Yeah. I don't mind that as much. Like, yes, most depictions of Mega Man, he's a little bit like slimmer and robotier, but like because he has that kind of anime style, the like round cutesy variants are just like, yeah, sure, that exists. Why
Yeah.
why not? That doesn't really seem out of place to me.
Yeah. I also like Iceman on this cover art. He's got an expression, his eyes
He
looking
looks
down,
really good. Yeah.
his mouth open in an oval. He's just going, whoa,
Yeah. Yeah. A very, very Ice Climbers, a character I
very
only
much.
know because of Smash. I don't know if anyone knows anything about Ice Climbers
We know.
outside of that.
I know. I've played Ice Climbers. I know about Ice
Okay.
Climbers. We're covering
You're
it
you're a
next
cool
week.
guy, I guess. What about Cutman here?
I
I
like
kind of
him
like
too.
he's got a very round head here too.
I like his angry eyes.
Mhm. Mhm.
He looks very trying to think, like, not maybe kind of Sesame Street. Something about the way, the shape of the eyes, and like he's angry but in a very cute way.
Mhm. He's also just such an odd design, right? Like I
Yeah.
look at, Iceman, he's like got like a parka, Bomb Man and Guts Man, they're like big smashy robot dudes, Elec Man is like he's got a
Elec
superhero
Man.
suit type of thing. The Fireman's got torches. Cutman is just like he's just like a featureless guy with scissors on his head. It's I don't like what a strange choice.
It is funny. I mean, the idea of these robot masters, for anyone who doesn't know, is they
Mhm.
were designed to help with construction and stuff like that. And so it kind of makes sense, like, okay, this robot makes bombs to blow stuff up. Sure, this guy makes electricity. Yeah, fire. I see how these would be useful. Cutman is just a guy with scissors on his head. Like, could you not just get someone with big scissors? Why does it need to be a
Yeah.
robot?
I mean, I did see looking into this a little bit that one of the gimmicks is yeah, because I know bosses are like super effective against each other. The guy wanted to do like rock paper scissors.
Right.
Uh
Oh,
and so
true.
like part of the whole gimmick is that yeah, Gutsman throws rocks around, so you need a scissors guy for the rock guy to
Well,
be super
but the
effective
problem is
against.
you called your protagonist Rockman. So,
That's
oh, maybe that's supposed to be, maybe that was a clue in, to like go for Cutman first in the original game. I
mm,
hadn't thought about that. But then there's no
could
Paper
be.
Man,
Yeah, there's no paper man.
so
I
it
don't
all
know.
falls apart. What do you think about the name change? How do you feel about Rockman versus Mega Man?
It's hard to feel any sort of way about it. I do think that if I were in a vacuum, if I'd never heard any of these, I would probably like Rockman better. Especially with later installments where we start getting more and more characters with like, music themed names.
Right, which they never
And not
changed.
yeah, which they didn't change as opposed to like just Rockman and Roll. Um, Mega Man a little generic. Fine alliteration, but like especially since Roll is in this, Rockman and Roll is just fun and good. I probably would like it better. But like I learned this character as Mega Man before I knew anything about him, and I'm just so yeah, that's Mega Man. I don't know. It's hard for me to not just take that for granted.
I think I do like Mega Man better. I mean, yeah, like you, I knew it long before the other version. I mean, you lose the music thing, which is sort of silly, but I feel like when you just hear, if you, I think they made the right choice. 'Cause I think a game just called Rockman, I'm thinking, uh, is this like the Thing from Fantastic Four? Like,
Mm.
what does he really have to do with rocks?
Mhm.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean I suppose that's true because there is a translation thing there. If he's called Rockman and you're Japanese, you might be like, when do I hear the word rock? Well, I hear it as a loan word specifically for a genre because we have our own word for rocks. Nobody's going to use the English word for rocks,
Mm.
right? And then in English, you're like, oh, it sounds like he shoots rocks or something.
Yeah, I think they should have compromised, and maybe this is the compromise. Maybe this is true in later games. I'm not sure, but his name could still be Rock, and then he becomes Mega Man. I feel like that's how
Mm,
you circle that
mm.
square.
But but he is just a robot, right? Like in this game,
Yeah,
at
but
the
he
very
like
least.
has a name and stuff. I mean, not in this game, but in the Japanese version, he was called Rock, and he became Rockman. That is the
Mhm.
story.
Okay, okay.
I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, anything else you want to say about either of these box arts?
Uh, I feel like we've boxed it up here.
Great. I guess we've covered it.
Right, we've covered it.
And therefore, box art has been broken down.
Right. I was gonna say I don't remember what you said this time. I just remember it was good. So hopefully you do.
All right. So, Mega Man, again, from Capcom. This is their first video game on a home console. They were really just doing arcade and computer ports before this. And so this is a major milestone in that sense because Capcom, I think, for my money, is one of the most consistent developers out there. Every developer has their stinkers. But as far as for me, as far as like non-first party, whether it be Nintendo or Sony or whatever, like the real big budget AAA type of stuff, when you're looking at third party developers that are out there and have been there for a long time, I feel like Capcom games are often a safe bet. They usually have a high quality. They have a lot of very good franchises that they have used to great effect. Ironically, Mega Man is one of the ones that they've sort of dropped the ball on. It's that series has fallen away in recent years, much to the chagrin of the fans. But I like them, and so I think one of the reasons we weren't always going to have Mega Man in this first season, but I decided to move it up because I did feel like we should have some Capcom representation here. And this first Mega Man game sets the formula that all the other ones followed, which is you are Mega Man. There are 6 robot bosses. I guess there's sometimes more than that, but there's multiple robot masters you can go after, and you can choose any order. Each one has its own level, and at the end of each level, you fight the boss. They give you their weapon, and then you can use that weapon against other enemies. But in particular, there's always one boss that is weak to another boss's weapon. So part of the game is figuring out what that flow chart is, figuring out which weapons are good against which enemies, or going online and reading other people telling you so you don't have to figure it
Mhm,
out.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is something that I was aware of as part of the game before playing it. One of the other things that I am aware of as part of the game before playing, which made me not worry too much about that, to be honest, um, is that these games, especially like this particular era, is well known as being two things. One, very, very difficult to do the first time. And the sort of game where once you figure out how to do it, it's pretty easy. Like the skill gap between being able to beat a level and being able to beat a level damageless is probably smaller than with most other games. Right. It's like not necessarily, especially not for somebody like me, but like the kind of game where you would expect most of the time spent playing to be done on like a first attempt, right? And so I did go into this with the idea effectively of listen, I don't know which, if any, of these levels I can even beat. So forget the flowchart, forget what's doable. I will figure out what I can do because if I get to a point where I can start thinking about chaining these together, it shouldn't be too difficult to duplicate what I was doing before. Now I don't know if that's an impression you have of these games or but like that is the impression I had. And that
Mhm.
did for the most part hold up.
I think that I think I mostly agree with that assessment. These are the types of games that you will die a lot, but you're meant to replay these levels, and by the whatever number of times you've played it, you could maybe do it with your eyes closed because you've learned it. Some of it is pattern
Mhm.
memorization, knowing which enemies come where, understanding, oh, I need to like wait here and then move and
Mhm.
then wait here. Oh, I need to save this weapon for this part. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you figure it out and then you come back to it and it's like I honestly a lot of older games, but Mega Man maybe is the pinnacle of this. The
Mhm.
epitome. I don't know. Pick a word that to me feel not dissimilar from a game like Guitar Hero. I'm not going to say rhythm games because I know you will have some different feeling on rhythm games. I'm just going to specify Guitar Hero
Sure.
where it's like, oh, the first time I play a song, I'm not very good at it, but the fun of it, well, maybe that's maybe not true. If you're good at the game, you might be good at the song right away. But a lot when you're
Mhm.
first learning Guitar Hero and you're doing a new difficulty or whatever, the fun of it is, oh, I played the song like 10 times and now I'm shredded and I'm going for the highest score. And that's how I feel about Mega Man is the joy of it. It would almost be disappointing if I beat a level in one go. For me, like the
Mhm.
fun of it is learning the level and the satisfaction of getting to the end of that hill and going, I mastered that section.
Yeah, yeah, I do think about rhythm games slightly differently, but I do think that basically what you're saying is true, that this has a lot in common with that. This idea of like, because yes, if you're good at it, you should be able to do it like first try. But there's a difference between doing it and like perfecting it. And
Mm.
a lot of a rhythm game is just like, okay, let's let's just absolutely fucking nail this, um and get it figured out and get it done. And when you are pushing the difficulty that you can pass, yes, it's going to be very similar where you're trying to learn individual sections. um and it's similar here, like there, even if you can get through a section, you are, of the level, you are trying to, on subsequent attempts, get through with less damage, because it's like, oh yeah, it's total, now that I understand how to do it, I just need to execute it properly and I can get through with less damage, and that means I'll be more equipped to handle what comes next. Right?
Yeah.
The first time I get through it, I just barely make it and then immediately die. The second time I still have like most of my health. The third time I took like one hit or something.
You have more lives left over, whatever the thing
Right.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the thing is, yeah.
So I was a little, as always, I'm always a little concerned for you. But
You
for
should be. You
for
should be. You
for
weren't wrong.
potential new listeners, if you don't know, Will is famously bad with games, but particularly platformers.
Mhm.
Um, this is not our first action platformer. I'd say Castlevania a little bit, Metroid a little bit in terms of like games that require you to run, jump, and hit enemies. Mario too, but like you don't have a weapon in that, so it's sort of a different thing to me. Um, Maybe the closest thing to Metroid, because I think maybe this and Metroid are the only two games we've done with a character that actually shoots.
Mm,
I think
mhm,
these are our only
mhm.
two gun games so far. And probably the last. There aren't that many of those. Most games don't even
Yeah, a
have guns.
character. I was gonna say, like, what about Space Invaders? That's not really a character, though.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
shooting, but it's like
Nor is it shooting plus platforming.
right. So, and as you said, the Mega Man games are somewhat notorious for being difficult.
Mhm,
Now, on the plus side, on the other end of the spectrum, one thing I thought that might work in your favor is that this game is not structured like many other games of the era. You don't have to play through all these levels and and beat them again and again to get past them to get to the new ones. There's a stage select screen. There's 6 levels, and you can pick one. And if you think it's too hard, you can go play another one, and then you can stop and go play another one. And you can choose any order. And if you make it to a boss, you'll get a weapon that helps you in other levels. So even if you were like so terrible at this game, like just terrible at it,
mhm.
you still could, in some sense, experience much of what it has to offer simply because, other than there's a final segment that you unlock from beating all of the initial 6 bosses, you can kind of experience, you can see like 80% of this game just because of the structure of it.
Mhm.
And plus, like I said, the weapons, like if you manage to get one weapon, oh, well, that does help you for other levels. So, where did you land on this? Let's hear it. How did you feel? And also I do think the controls are certainly tighter, I think, than both Castlevania and Metroid. I think this is the farthest along. You tell me how'd it go.
Yeah, so that's probably true in terms of the controls. Okay, so in terms of, that expected experience, I where you die, you struggle, but then when you come back, you do better and you can do better, and once you've done something a number of times, it's not too hard to do it again and again. Um that was generally my experience, so long as the difficulty in front of me was either only enemies or
Classic.
very simple platforming with enemies. Like if there was simple platforming with a ton of enemies, that could be dealt with. When the difficulty involved was just platforming, right? There we can do more difficult platforming because there are no enemies to confound it. Um it was
Found it.
beyond my capabilities. Like it wasn't like if I work really really hard at this, I will eventually get it and then I'll get it easily the next thing. It was literally can't be done. Not possible. In fact, I actually soft locked myself behind my skill level on Iceman's level at one point.
What does that mean exactly?
Okay. Okay, so there's a jumping puzzle. You can't go back or forward until you complete the jumping puzzle.
You mean
There
you're
is
referring to do
yeah,
do?
the blocks that appear in and out, right?
Yes.
Um there is an enemy that goes back and forth along the bottom that hits you
Mhm.
whenever you're down there and try
Mhm.
to start again.
Yeah.
The first time I tried this level, I got to the first one of these puzzles, and I failed the block jump so many times, and every time I'm getting hit, and it's hard to pay attention, whatever. I came back with a weapon that could beat
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
enemy on the bottom and
Yeah.
was like, cool, now I can just try it 100 times.
Yeah.
And every time I fail, I'll be okay. So I got through that. Next stage, or next screen rather, within the level, it's the same thing, but more complicated. And I go, cool, I kill the enemy, and I try the block puzzle. And eventually I realize there is, as far as I'm aware, no way to just return to the start screen if I want to. Uh, there is no pit that I can fall into and die. There are no enemies that can hurt me. I cannot hurt myself with my own weapons. There is no way to move back enough to reload the enemy. The only ways forward are to either complete the puzzle or turn off the game. And I could not complete the puzzle. Could not do it. I was stuck.
That's what the old reset button was for on the NES, my friend.
That's right. Well, I turned it off and restarted. That's what I
Yeah.
eventually did. But
Yeah. Wow.
yes. So
Wow.
so what
Damn.
this effectively meant is that in particular the Iceman and Gutsman stages were just simply not achievable for me. And at the end of the day. Now I did make it to Cutman. Um, and that was the first stage I tried, and I
Uh-huh.
got to him, and it was just chaos. And I was like, all right, let's try some other things. Perhaps if I came back after being better, I would have been able to do it. I managed to
Hmm.
beat both Fireman and Bombman,
Wow.
and Elec Man. I think had I spent more time, I could have potentially done. I spent a lot of time, unfortunately, kind of burnt out on playing because I tried Gutsman so early. And when you watch my Gutsman footage, you are going to laugh your ass off, and then you're going to feel really bad for me.
I
Um,
don't know about that second part.
um, but so I didn't necessarily have the time to work Elec Man, but I also had this issue with Elec Man where like
I don't like the way you
unless I
say
went,
Elec Man. I just want to say that.
that's just Elec Man is bad.
Elec Man? No,
Yeah, that's way better.
it's like Elec Musk.
It's better. Would you call him Elon Musk? You wouldn't. That's not how the syllables flow in
I don't
English.
know. I don't know. Let me hold on. Let me check my email. All right, go ahead. Whatever the fuck you were talking about, electricity, Elec
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. I mean, the problem with that is like basically the opening like screen. Like unless I came in with another boss's weapon to like kill the enemies there, I was like 1 in 3 to get through it. And every time I got through it, I could make progress on the level, but it was much slower going. Like, it wasn't, it was just one of those things where it's like, listen, man, if I get through this section and it's because of enemies, then I can do it consistently. If I get through this section and it's because of platforming, then it's because I got lucky and, I just got to keep doing it until I get lucky again. And then maybe I can make progress.
Yeah. So you said you beat Fireman and Bomb Man.
Yes, and I got to Cutman probably if I came back there with more practice with the game, which I have now, and maybe a weapon or something, I probably could beat Cutman too.
Yeah, sort of a shame because I do feel like you got two of the. Certainly, Bomb Man is maybe, I think, the worst weapon in the game. Like, it's almost
Hmm.
useless. I
I
mean,
mean,
Guts Man's is
I
pretty
used it to get rid of
situational.
those stupid spiky things on the ground. That's a big game for
I
me.
see. I see. Yes, I would. So I do think the game. I'm sort of surprised to hear some of this because
Hmm.
Cutman is the one that it's selected initially when you start the
Hmm.
game. I
Hmm.
don't know if that was intentional on their part of like, oh, maybe start with this one or what. But I do think that is that's the one that I did first. I think it is the easiest level on. I think it
Hmm.
is to me overall the
I
easiest
think that's
one.
probably right. Yes.
I think it has the least tricky platforming. And once Cutman, you get Cutman, his weapon, which is it's okay. That's what I use to kill those things you were talking about on the ground. It kind of goes in an arc.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that weapon is effective against Elecman. Did you actually get to Elecman as a boss or
No.
no? Okay.
No, no. Like I said, I was slowly making progress through the level, but it was much slower because of the fact that I couldn't just get to my endpoint every attempt. Right, a lot of
Mm.
attempts were just stopped before they started.
Because I do think Elecman's weapon in particular is the most useful all-purpose weapon. It shoots in 3 directions. It's just very strong in most stages.
Mhm.
So
So,
having that I think is a big help.
well, okay, so I have a question.
I love to hear
Um,
questions.
there is a thing in
Mhm.
Elec Man's
Mhm.
stage
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
lets you make platforms.
Yeah.
Can you bring it to other levels?
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's a regular it's just like
Okay.
all your other weapons. You can select it.
Okay. Because I saw it and I couldn't figure out how to get it, but when I was trying to map out like how would I put this all together because I didn't do much in terms of carrying bosses weapons into other stages because it just didn't get to that point. And like I said, I was mostly just concerned with mapping out what I could and couldn't do. And I felt pretty confident with most of these that it was just like, listen, I got it once. If I need to get it, like if I need to start over, I'll start again. Right now, I'm just interested in what I can and can't do. And I don't think there was any point at which I thought I absolutely need a weapon. Like I can't deal with this with a unless I have some weapon, unless it was platforming. Anything involving platforming was like, I need help. And anything not involving platforming was, I can learn to do this with the Mega Buster if need be. Um, so part of my
That's the
overall
default
plan,
weapon for
the
anyone
default
uninitiated.
weapon, which I actually know the name of because I know things about fucking Mega Man. Crazy. Isn't that insane? I'm not supposed to know these things.
God damn.
Yeah, but like what the plan that was in my head by the time I finished, I didn't finish, but the week ended, and I was like, all right, well, that's everything I did. The plan that was in my head was if I can just figure out how to get that thing, I can test if I can bring it to another level. And if I can,
Mm.
then most likely every level is doable. And so once I
Mm.
know that every level can be done, then I can start figuring out a game plan of like what order do I want to do them in to get them all done. But like first I kind of needed to see what was even possible because it was like, yeah, I mean this some chain of like this is super effective against that isn't that useful if half the levels are shut out because I have to make a jump over a platform and I cannot do it.
Yeah, I mean, so actually, you beat Fireman and Bomb Man, you said?
Yes.
So Fireman's weapon is the one to use against Bomb Man. So you did have that as an advantage, assuming you did that.
Mm. I did not do
Are
that.
you
I did each of them
serious?
individually.
No,
Yeah.
wait.
I actually beat Bomb Man first.
Oh, man, God
I
damn it.
beat Bomb Man first, and then at some point I died and whatever, and then I reset, and then I beat Fireman. Well, but here's the thing,
Hey,
John.
look,
You're
that
you're
makes you a real
thinking
gamer. That makes you a
that's
pro.
true.
You beat it with a
Yeah.
handicap.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, John, you're thinking
Yes.
too far ahead, right?
Okay.
You're thinking like, how would you plan this out to beat all of it? At
Mhm.
no point did I ever have any plan to beat more than one stage. My plan on while playing this was effectively see if I can get this stage,
Yeah, yeah.
see what the thing that I get does. Then I'll check something else, and again, I'll just put it all together if I get to a point where I have it all. Like your ideas of like now that I have this, I can do this. That's in the future because I don't even know. Right? What if I get this weapon and I take it to Gutsman's stage because that's the next place I'm supposed to go, and I just literally cannot make it 2 feet? Right? Then it doesn't matter that I did that. So first I need to know what I need, you know. This was all it's all just like me testing, right? None of it
Mhm.
is a real attempt yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. You have you're an explorer. You're
Sure.
seeing trying to understand systems
Yeah.
because you're not jumping into the deep end, you're learning how to
Yeah.
doggy paddle. That's what's
Yes,
happening.
right. Exactly. Exactly. If I can't be like, okay, I figured out how to doggy paddle. It's time to go to the deep end. I'll drown and die. Right. I know how to doggy paddle. Okay, let's try this life preserver thing just to see how that works too. And then I'll try this thing with like the boat. And once I put them all together, maybe I'll figure out a plan for getting across this lake.
Now, do you want me to I can tell you how you get the magnet beam as you're referring
Uh,
to it.
Sure. I There were blocks in front of it, and I thought maybe I could bomb them if I came back with the bomb, but I didn't really know
Yeah,
what I was
so
doing with that.
you would have figured it out, I think eventually. It is Gutsman's ability lets you pick up blocks. That's what
Ah,
his power is.
that's unfortunate because Gutsman is very much locked behind that behind getting that thing for me. Um I'm not getting the Gutsman without the ability to make platforms.
Now, I'm also going to tell you this. The
Mhm.
ability to make platforms with the magnet beam might not be as great as you think it is.
I don't care. Anything that could give me even the slightest edge would be helpful.
It I'm sure it would help you, but like they take a fair bit of ammo, you have like your meter of ammo for each weapon for a platform, and B, they disappear after like 5 seconds. So if you're using them for any great distance, you still have to be pretty good and quick shooting them and jumping, shooting and jumping to get to where you're going. It could still like save you if
Yeah.
there's just one thing you got to get over. It could
Mhm.
save you. But I don't know exactly if there was a specific area you were like, I need that beam.
I don't know enough about how it works,
Mm.
but I just want like
Was it in the manual or
I just
something?
want
How'd you
any
know
tool.
about it? How did you know what
It's
it
in the
does?
manual.
Okay.
It's in the manual, yeah.
It's funny because so that is a weird little hint of Metroidvania in this game. That's the
Mhm.
only level where there's any kind of you backtrack there with an ability and you can get something. It strangely feels out of place. I saw it early on because I did Elec Man early and then went all the way through to the final levels
Mm.
forgetting about it. And then there is a section where you do need the magnet beam to progress. And only then did I
Ah.
realize, oh, fuck, I got to go get that thing.
Well, that's why they put it in the manual so that you wouldn't be like, I don't understand how you're supposed to even do this.
Yeah, and I did. I bashed my head against the wall
Mhm.
for a few minutes, like, what the fuck? Oh, that thing. That thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I guess I will talk about. So I had a kind of a strange experience with this game
Hmm.
in that, like I said, like we established, the Mega Man series is well known for being very difficult. And I remembered that clearly from back in the day. There are certain games that I love that I can't play around other people because I'll just be shouting and throwing shit and hooting and hollering like a manic ape. like
Yeah.
like King
I
Kong
I
after you
love
take
that.
his woman.
I love when you start going ape when I'm, playing a game. I think
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun.
I mean,
It's great.
of Mega Man is probably it's got to be in the top 5 of video games that make me go fuck 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 like that. A lot.
Mhm, mhm.
It's up there. I will get mad and I'll admit that. Get tilted as they say.
Mm.
But I love it. But I still love it. I still come back to it and I still love it. And so, like you, I came into this being like, all right, I know this is I know I've played through I haven't played every Mega Man game, but I know I played through the entirety of the first 3 at least. And so I'm like, I know this is going to be hard. I'm prepared. I get it. And what I found was, for me personally, it was so much easier than I remembered it being.
I thought it might be. It felt the fact that I could work the sections enough to get through them made it feel like I bet these weren't that hard first try for John.
Yeah, I don't know, because and I'm also like, maybe I'm more remembering because I haven't replayed these games in several years. So I'm like, maybe
Mhm.
this is more Mega Man 2, I'm sure like things get more advanced, difficulty I'm sure gets upped. But the where the difficulty came in for me, there was a hurdle with the Iceman blocks, as you indicated, the disappearing blocks, which was like, okay, this is a thing I got to figure out that's kind of annoying. But it really is only those 2 screens. There aren't that many of those. So it's
Mm.
like once you figure them out, you're pretty much good. And then the final stage where you're going against Dr. Wily, that is a 4-part level, and there are some bosses, which I'll talk about later, that are quite difficult. However, the main 6 robot stages, I think my total time of beating all of them was like an hour. Which is like, I was surprised. I really, and I don't, it's again, I haven't played this game in a long time. It's not like, oh, I've done this before. It's in my DNA or anything. I felt like I was relearning it for the first time, and I was
Mm.
taken aback by how much I was just getting through it.
Interesting
Um,
because I was going to question that. Like the
yeah,
fact that like yes, you like it's true. You haven't played it in a long time, you don't know. But like there is a learning curve that just comes from like okay, here's an enemy. It has a pretty easy pattern to avoid if you know it. But I don't know even what it's going to do, and the pattern is like a lot of stuff. It's like there's a lot of stuff on screen and just don't be where it's going to be. And that's not too hard. But the first time you see it, you don't know what there is. There's a lot of it. And there's 3 of them. Right. And you're just like, what the fuck? What the, oh my God, what the hell is this? And if you go in there and you just say, those 3 are going to go like that. And that means those areas are safe. And so I just do that, then like it becomes easy. And I'm wondering if maybe that helped you to some degree where it's just like yes, like on some level my brain knew what was expected of me the first time I saw everything even though I didn't remember what it was.
yeah,
I don't know.
maybe there is some innate just having a familiarity with the rhythms of the Mega Man games in general.
Mhm.
That certainly helps. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to. I kind of want to now go back and play Mega Man 2 again and see if the experience is the same or different. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I started the game like early in the week, and like an hour in, I was like, I guess I'm done. Like, I guess I I just have the last stage left. Now, the last stage, that one, like I said, much longer. I did have more difficulty with the later bosses. So I got my difficulty there, but it felt strange because that's, it felt proportionate. It felt like that's correct. The difficulty should be all in the final stage.
Mhm.
But in my memory of Mega Man, it was like every stage is just pounding you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know, whatever the case may be. Which is not to say that I still didn't enjoy my time with the game. Now, I will say there is one other aspect where maybe this certainly was an advantage for me. So,
Mhm.
uh, I started with Cutman and beat him, who I do think is the to me, that's like the canonical. It makes the most sense to do cut.
Yeah.
I think of all the bosses, he's the easiest to get to and beat with the regular gun.
Yeah, he's by far the easiest to get to. I think my issue when I got to Cutman was he started jumping around like fucking crazy, and I was not that familiar with the game yet, and I was like, this is just chaos. I can't make sense of this. Whereas when I got to Bomb Man, I was like, well, he throws this very slow weapon that takes a long time to explode, and like you can't be anywhere near it, but I have a lot more time to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do. It probably is easier to beat Cutman when you know what you're supposed to do, but I just didn't have time to think.
Hmm.
Um
I'm sure
that
you
being
could do
said,
it.
yes, I'm sure I could. And also that being said, 100% to get from start to finish, easiest was Cutman. No
Yeah.
question.
So
Not even close.
I did that. Then I was like, I don't really know what to do. I'm just gonna play around. I went to Iceman and was like, I got to these blocks and was like, that's a hurdle. I'm gonna try something else. I ended up
Mhm.
going to Elecman, and that worked out. And Cutman is the weapon that's effective against Elecman, so that worked out. I did not remember these patterns exactly.
Mm.
I kind of assumed like I kind of that's why I went for Iceman second, is I was like, I bet Iceman is good against Fireman. So that's like one I can kind of
Mhm.
count on. Ended up getting lucky with the Elecman thing. And like I said, I think the electricity weapon is very good and helpful. And then I did just, I was like, I don't really feel like messing around with this. I've done this before. I'm going to do it again. But I consulted a chart to be like, okay, which enemies are good against which enemies. And maybe that is
Mhm.
it. Maybe a lot of my ease of play comes down to the Electman weapon is very good. And if you just do Cutman first, then you go to him, and then I was consulting the charts. So once you have the weapons, most of the bosses, when you get to them, are kind of a cakewalk if you have the right weapon. You don't need
Mhm.
to work that hard to beat them, to be honest.
Yeah, I can believe that. I am though. I still do wonder because like this is 100% a rhythm game thing too, where you can say like, "Oh yeah, I just haven't played this in like 5 to 10 years, and I don't remember how to do it. My fingers don't really move well. I barely remember how to read patterns." You know how you learn to play again? You go play something that you played 100 times 10 years ago because you still on some subconscious level remember how to do it even though you don't really remember, and so then you can kind of correlate like, oh right, I when I see that my fingers are supposed to do this, I know because they just instinctively do it. And there is a part of me that just wonders if that wasn't in there somewhere. I don't know for sure.
I
I
don't
just have
know
this
how
suspicion.
much of that though is specific to Mega Man and how much of that is just
Mhm.
being more familiar with action games in
Mhm.
general. I don't know.
Mm. Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, if it's in there, it's in there. It's deep.
Yeah.
Like it really is in my DNA, because I was not like, oh yeah, this level, this part where you jump on this. Like I mean, I remember the disappearing blocks in general, because
Yeah.
that is a thing that's in all the Mega Man games. So I'm like, okay, I remember falling and doing this shit
Mhm.
50 times, but I still fell and did it 50 times here. That was the thing that got me.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, my problem with those disappearing blocks on the second level was I'm pretty sure I couldn't have made those jumps if they were there the whole time. Like, I was just like, I don't know. I can consistently get here every time and time the jump perfectly, and it just doesn't work, and I don't understand why, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I tried an alternate method to jump, and that didn't work either. I just don't know. I got no clue. So I was just totally stuck.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm not. I will say it is the difficulty thing. Really is though. Just it really is just that level of like when you first see something, it's fucking chaos. Like you don't have a lot of time to react to things before everything goes to shit. If you react to everything immediately the way you're supposed to, everything is very clear and easy. And if you don't, you just get totally fucked up. So there is like the game most of the time, if it's just there's enemies on screen, it is kind of like, yeah, I mean, just do it, right? Like just do the thing you're supposed to do,
Hmm.
and it's easy. And
Yeah.
but until you figure out what the thing you're supposed to do is, you're just fucked.
Yeah, I found most of the platforming I didn't think was so crazy. I think like Mario in general, I would say probably has tighter, tougher platforming. I don't know if you would agree with that. Um, but there were a couple. Just like I think there's one level. Maybe it's Iceman. Maybe it's Elecman. There's one level that has floating single blocks. You need to jump up at a certain at like 2 points that were the one parts of the game in terms of the platforming that made me sweat a little bit because there's just
Mm.
no. You had to like land on that block and go. I was like,
Did
ugh.
they did they, like, move or disappear, or they were
No,
just
they were
there?
just there.
Okay, there I went through one of those and did not have any trouble with it
Mm,
because they were just there. Like, I mean, this was something I was noticing very much, was that when there's an enemy and I fuck up, it's like I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to jump over this and then shoot during this part and position myself here. Every time I would fuck it up, because I would, right? I would know what to do and I would fuck it up. I would know exactly what I did wrong. Oh, I pressed this button instead
mm,
of that. Oh, I positioned myself here instead of there. Oh, I did this instead of that. With the platforming, when I would fail it, I would be like, okay, I know I'm supposed to jump from here to here, and I thought I did that. And I guess I'm supposed to be here when I jump and hold the button for this long. And I did it twice, and as far as I can tell, I jumped at the same position, uh, at the same point in the cycle with the buttons for the same duration, same buttons, and one time it worked and one time it didn't, and I do not know what was different. And like it was very, very clear to me like why the platforming was sticking, and it was just because like when I fuck up the enemies, I know what I did, right? I can correct it even if I'm bad at it. The platforming, totally in the dark. No fucking clue. When I'm falling, I have no idea why I'm falling. I'm like, it worked last time. I don't know, man. What?
your fingers and your brain are not communicating
Yeah.
properly.
Or or like there's, maybe there's like a, there's and I think maybe I don't know where my character is horizontally either. Like this was something I noticed in Fireman's stage was I kept getting hit by the like jets of fire when I was just like, yeah, I'm over here where I won't get hit. Oh, I got hit. Because it's just like I think somewhere in my brain there's like a plus or minus several pixels on where my character is at any given moment. And like that's kind of fine for a lot of these things, but when it comes to making these super tight jumps, it's like it's not. It's just not. I
Yeah, no, that'll make platforming tough if you don't know where you are.
yeah.
That is kind of a
I
key
think
thing.
yeah, and also I think that there are audio cues. Like that was
Mm,
another thing. It's like if I have to make these really tight windows to jump around projectiles, I can time a rhythm between like I hear the thing fire and I press jump. As opposed to, like, if there's moving platforms, I just have to time it based on, like, where stuff is on the screen, which I might be several pixels off on, and so I'm just not timing it at the same time every time, right? As opposed to,
mm,
like, it's that's the audio, pew, jump, right?
right. Or certainly for very obviously in the with the disappearing blocks, I'm waiting for like, okay, when that second do, then I jump.
Mhm.
you know.
Yes. Yeah. I was able to pretty consistently do the things where it was like, okay, jump straight up and have a block appear underneath you at the top of your arc. I could do that because there's an
Yeah.
audio cue.
And I would still screw that
Um,
up. What was you probably played? There's one level where the opening is you're going up a bunch of ladders and there's like green robot things that shoot at you from the sides. I don't
oh,
know. Yeah. You
yes.
know what I mean?
Those were not too bad. I don't
I
think. The
learned
bad
if you
part
learn to
was
take
the
care
same
of
level
them. Yeah.
before that. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, my problem was once you get to the top, there is a disappearing block thing, and the first few times I
Yeah.
would mess it up, and then you got to fall back down and do the whole fucking ladder
Oh, yeah,
section
yeah.
again. But
Yeah. Well, I messed that part up a bunch too, but probably only as much as you did, which is,
hmm.
like, all right, sure, whatever, that's fine. I can work through that. That's not at the level of like, all right, this is not happening. I don't know what you expect of me. Like you say you spent like an hour getting through all 6 levels. Would you like to know how much time I spent trying So in Gutsman stage, right?
Now this is
In
this
Gutsman
is the
stage,
last one I did, and this is the one right that
yeah.
opens with the green like conveyor belt
Yes.
thing. Yes,
Yes. Do you know how much time I spent trying to get past the literal opening conveyor belt thing?
I would bet. Like I don't. You shouldn't have even gotten near this, to be honest with you. I would bet because I'd find this very hard too. I would bet I'm gonna.
It's literally one screen into the Gutsman stage.
Yeah, I'm gonna because I don't know how much time you before you just said fuck it, but maybe 45 minutes.
All
to
right. Well, you know what? You're right. It was about 40 minutes.
Great.
It was about 40 minutes. I made it through one time around the 20-minute mark and then spent 20 more minutes, could not replicate the feat. And it unfortunately kind of burned me out because it was the
Yeah,
second stage
you
I
should
did.
have
Like, I did the
stopped doing
Cutman
it.
stage and I was pretty excited. Well, the thing is, on the Cutman stage, it was like every time I did something, I could do it again, and I was excited to play more. So on Gutsman, I was like, all right, I'm going to get this, and then I'll have it done. And then I never got it. And then it took me a while to be able to get back into the game because I would start it off, and the moment a platforming thing would come up, I'd just be like, nope, done, fuck it, I'm not doing that stage. We'll
I
try a
feel
different
like
one.
yeah, I feel like that level is an immediate like, hey, maybe don't do this one right now. Like this is a because that's what I did.
Mm,
I think I beat Cutman and I don't remember, but definitely I went to Gutsman maybe second and was
mm,
just like, nah, I'll come back to this. I don't want to
mm.
do this. I just bounced
Yeah,
off.
I guess the other part of it was me being like, well, I'm bad at platforming in this game.
Right. You don't
When I
know.
learned, yeah, when I learned enemies, I was then able to take care of them forever. So it's like, well, maybe if I just can get through this conveyor belt thing once or twice, I'll be able to do it consistently. And if I can do it consistently, I'll be able to handle anything else they throw at me. This is just the gauntlet I have to go through.
This is throwing
Turned
you
out
in
that
the
just
literal
wasn't.
deep end. You're skipping doggy
Yeah,
paddle. That's the problem.
right. Yes, that was the problem. I'm skipping doggy paddling.
Don't you just fucking love metaphors?
I do.
Now, some, in many ways, I do think this is another game. We talked about this with Castlevania. I think this game maybe is even nicer than Castlevania in some ways. You have a fair bit of health.
Mm,
Um, it does take even if you're really taking hits, you could
mm,
probably still get through a good chunk of the level before you die with not from platforming, but from
mhm,
enemies. There are You can get health refills. When you kill enemies, they will sometimes drop health. So that's very nice. And there are checkpoints in each
mhm,
stage, including right before a boss. So if you make it to the boss with, say, 2 or 3 lives, you got a couple of chances to try to learn the pattern and maybe come back and do it again. And of
mhm,
course, the fact that the stages are independently selectable. So yeah, I think that helps. That's the sugar that helps the medicine go down in this game. Is even when it's tough as nails, really hard. That section that you're struggling with, when you lose all your lives, now you've probably played enough that you can get back there in like a minute. And that is
mhm,
the thing that helps it, so it's not just a pure fucking punishment to play this game, right?
mhm.
Maybe that, yeah, even Gutsman, like you said, it is the literal first stage, so it's not like you didn't have to go through Cutman again to do that, which helps.
Mhm.
Um, one, I don't know if maybe this is a criticism of the game. Something that I guess you didn't really engage with at all is, as we mentioned, the boss weaknesses, right?
Yeah, yeah, I did not engage with that barely. Like I pretty much used the weapons enough to kind of understand what they did, and that's about it.
But I do find it a little. I don't know if the ideal way to play this game in people's minds is that it's fun to like pick somebody and then test those weapons on all the bosses and figure it out for yourself which
Mhm.
ones are good, which I guess I don't really remember the first time I played this if I did that purely or if I looked anything up at any point. But uh, I don't know that I find that interesting because it could just kind of, I guess it's kind of fun because then you can see like, oh, you know what? I don't know which weapon is good against this boss, but maybe I can learn their patterns and beat them anyway. And if I can't, I'll come back. So there is some fun to that. But at the same time, if that's a mechanic in the game. It feels like it's not like a cheat.
Mhm.
They want you to engage with that. The fact that there is really no hint at all of other
Mhm.
the only one that kind of makes sense is Iceman beats Fireman. And even in that case, it could have just as easily
Yeah.
been Fireman beats Iceman.
Yeah, that's one of those funny things where I always have to remind myself, like as a
As a
pretty
Pokemon
much
player.
exclusively Pokemon guy, almost every video game does the opposite of Pokemon. Generally speaking, ice is good against fire. Right. That's usually the case.
Yeah. But other than that, if you clock into that, clock in, whatever, fuck you.
Mhm.
I I don't I kind of and it gets even more by the time you get to like Mega Man 5 or 6, it's like Tomahawk Man and Snake
Yeah.
Man. You're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this. It makes no sense.
I do remember the one where everyone was a really racist caricature, including like fucking Samurai Man or something, the really racist Japanese guy.
So yeah, I don't. I mean that's like a staple of the series. It's fun. I'm glad it's in there, but it is a little. I don't know. It feels sort of messy to me. Maybe I did myself a disservice this time around. I mean, it was my second time playing it, but maybe it is more fun to just kind of cruise through it and figure it out for yourself. But I think I just sort of said, I don't know. I've done this
Yeah,
before.
I don't know. It doesn't feel that interesting to me to figure it out, right? Like,
Yeah, it's just
you
trial
know,
and error.
right, yeah. I mean, given that the levels are interesting because you're bashing your head against them, and then once they're done, you're like, okay, I can do them. It feels like it's not that fun to know you're doing trial and error the first attempt when you're bashing your head, and then once you can do it, it's kind of like busy work to just do trial and error. I feel
Hmm.
um, like it doesn't seem. I do think in general type charts like this should just be available in the game. And maybe you'd be like, well, it's not expected you know this. Maybe it's expected that you're supposed to have a hard time beating all the bosses. But like that's kind of weird then to put in this mechanic and then not expect you to have it
Right.
work. So it feels like ideally you would just tell people this is how it's done. And but that could be from the perspective of a bad gamer, where for me it's like, okay, that's nice and all. You tell me that they all work, but that does involve me actually being able to beat the level in the first. Like I got to beat one of these before I can start this chain off.
But also
And if
that,
I can't beat the one he's good against, that's not
yeah,
helpful. You know,
it also takes
there's still
away
trial and error.
the whole point of the non-linearity is part of the
Mm,
charm. It's what makes the series
hmm.
special. So if if the game was just like, here's the ones that are good to do in this order, then they might as well just have them unlock in
Yeah.
that order, and then there's no point to any of it. So
Well,
I don't know.
again, looking at it from the perspective of someone who's not good, like you're right. Like generally speaking, that's true. But from the perspective of someone who's not good, I do think there is something here because there's not an obvious start point. Like, yes, Cutman, it turns out, is like the easy one to start with, but he's not the first boss I beat. The first boss
Mm,
I beat was Bomb Man, right? So, like, if I had used this and the whole time, I would have gone through, been like, okay, I couldn't beat Cutman, couldn't get to Gutsman, couldn't get to Iceman, couldn't get to Elec Man. Fireman, I probably could have, but I gave up on because I was feeling burnt out. Went to Bomb Man, beat him. Okay, who's Bomb Man good against? He's good against Guts Man. Oh, well, I can't get to Guts Man even with the bomb because of the platforming. All right, I need to start somewhere else. Right? So, like, there is potentially that kind of situation. It's not necessarily a given that because you know the order, you've got to do it in that order. Like, it is somewhat dependent on where you can even
yeah.
start.
Yeah. And there is still, even if you don't have the weapon that's
Hmm.
good against the boss, just having any option of weapons, some of them are more effective against other bosses, even if they're not super effective. And even if they're not the most of, like, they might still, oh, this one moves in a pattern where it's easier for me to
Right.
dodge while I'm using it or something.
Right. Yeah, I think that there would still be a lot of flexibility in that, and like I think the only thing you would really want to change is potentially you'd balance the damage. Like I do recall seeing bosses beat with weapons that are super effective against them in the past, in my history. And as I recall, yeah, you basically can just spam it and they die.
Totally.
So maybe you would cut back on that a little bit,
Mm.
make it a little bit harder, even if you've got the right
Yeah,
weapon, and
maybe
even
it.
harder if you don't have the right weapon.
Yeah.
But like, but I do think that in general with type charts, it should be somehow available, right? I do think it's a mistake to have a type chart and then not give the player access to it.
Yeah, I feel like hardcore Mega Mans will violently disagree with that. Is my guess is that
That's probably
they'll
true.
be like, that's the fun is figuring it out.
Mm,
Which I like I said, I sort of agree with, but I don't know. I was just I was tired. Um, but maybe
mm,
there could just be like a little hint, like maybe when you get a weapon and there's some sort of the background, there's kind of a little sizzle of
mm.
electricity that's like, oh, maybe I go to electricity guy next or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or just some more intuitive way to do it. Like I can reverse engineer why most of these could make sense, right? But like,
Yeah.
not even all of them.
let's
Right? Like,
let's figure this out because I'm
yeah,
thinking cut man is good against select man because it's like cutting the cord. You're cutting the
right.
plug.
Yeah, and Gutsman's good against Cutman because it's rock versus scissors,
Rock versus
right?
scissors, right? Ice and fire we
Bomb,
get.
yeah, bomb blows up the rocks, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Fire sets off a bomb, right?
Okay,
You blow
yeah.
it up with the fire.
Yeah.
Now here's the one I don't get.
Yeah.
Electricity beats ice.
Well, that's the one
That I
that's
have no
left.
clue.
you know.
Yeah,
That's the one that's there still. So that is how that worked out.
yeah. And then there are some like weaker
Yeah,
associations that
they don't make
not all
sense.
of them work either.
No, I don't think those work at all. The like half effective ones just kind of
Yeah, like
whatever.
like at least in Pokemon, like fire, water, grass kind of makes sense.
They started
Like
from a place.
yeah, bug fighting psychic less so, but at
There's
least
some kind of logic most of the
yeah,
time.
yeah. But they're generally speaking, I think there should be resources either and this chart is so simple. The one you sent me here that you
Yeah.
spoilered, just so
That's right.
the listeners know, um, right? Like it's just the 6 stages with some arrows. They could have just put this as a page in the manual. The manual is like fucking 6 pages long, and I think it would have been
But again,
fine.
isn't that
But
then just the same as saying just do it? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's still wrong to
I don't
say
think it
do them
is.
in this order.
Well, you're not though, because A, I don't know where I should start.
Yeah.
B, just because I can do the one with the strong arrow doesn't mean like again, I got Bomb Man, I can't go to Guts Man. Should I try to get Ice Man? Yeah, maybe I should. Kind of thing.
It's
But
funny.
but maybe I can't do Ice Man either because of the block puzzle. All right, I got to get another guy and start
Yeah.
from him. I think there is some element of order that could be preserved. If you're like really good, then whatever. But if you're really good, then maybe you say, fuck the order. I'll just do whatever I want.
Right. Well, that's part of the fun too. If you're like,
Mm,
especially if you've played the game multiple times, you might say, "Oh, I'm going to do a challenge
yeah,
run where I try to beat them all with just the regular gun or something."
yeah.
Which I guess you could always do anyway. I don't know. I came into
Yeah, I
this
mean
arguing
that
that
is what I started doing, just to
right.
see which ones I could. So
I was saying the system is clunky, but now I feel like I've talked myself out of it. And I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is good. I don't know.
I don't know.
One thing I do think is good though, well, that I still really
Mm,
appreciate, and one of the things that I think it's really the thing that makes the Mega Man series distinct to me outside of the, I guess, the non-linearity is ha- unlocking multiple types of weapons and on the fly at any point in the level being able to swap between all of them. And so you got to play with this a little bit with two weapons, but
barely, yeah.
there's a point, especially because I spent more time on the final quote unquote section than the other six.
Mhm.
So most of my game time, I had like a full loadout, and there is something very fun about each room, each stage, each enemy being like, okay, which weapon is the right type for this. Let me try this one. Oh yeah, this is useful. Oh, but I'm low on ammo in that, or I want to save that because I think I want to use that for a boss. Oh, some ammo dropped. I'm gonna switch to that type of gun because then that ammo will fill up that gun instead. That swapping mechanic I find very satisfying and is the thing I think that keeps Mega Man from just being, there's a million run and
Mhm.
gun action platformers. I think that's the weapons is what gives Mega Man that unique flavor that I like.
Yeah, I could see, like in my playing, I could see that that mechanic would be interesting and fun, but I was not really good enough to engage with it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's that, and I mean the difficulty, the
Hmm.
satisfaction of overcoming challenges, and also the vibes. We haven't talked much about
Hmm.
the vibes, but this is a game. It's unlike that American box art. It is quite cute.
Hmm.
Even the bosses are pretty adorable,
Hmm.
and many of the enemies are definitely little guys.
Hmm.
So, and that so that's another thing that I think, helps the medicine go down is you're beating your head against a wall, but while you're doing it, this is cute and the music is upbeat and fun. I think Mega Man 2, in my opinion, probably most people's opinion, I think this is what everyone thinks, has like that's when the music really they locked in and the soundtrack to that
Hmm.
game kicks ass. This game, the tunes aren't as memorable to me, but while they're playing, I enjoy them. Especially, I mean, that opening fanfare when you go to a level is
Yeah.
that really gets you hyped.
Yes, the music in this is quite good. It is very enjoyable, and a lot of the enemies are fun, right? I like even the green things that were zapping you off the ladder, right? Like
Oh
those are
yeah.
basically just like mechanical green spheres. They don't need to have personality, but like they've got little eyes at the top and bottom that make them you kind of like they look like they're just zappers going around, but you realize, wait a second, that's a guy. Is a little guy. Like they're fun. They're a lot of fun, I think. And Mega Man himself is a lot of fun. His dumb little sprite he does when he jumps is great. I love him.
Yeah, he's great. Now you can also in the levels, like I said, when you kill enemies, they'll randomly drop sometimes either ammo or health. You can also find one ups, which is always exciting. I like that the ammo and health is sort of random. You can kind of abuse this sometimes. If you really need health or ammo, you could linger on a screen and keep shooting the same enemies going back and forth until they drop what you want if you're desperate
Mhm.
for that, which I don't mind. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a bad thing.
Yes, I mean, I generally found that the health drops from enemies are pretty stingy enough that it is not worth doing that unless you absolutely have it nailed, right? You're like if I'm not 100% consistent, I'm more likely to lose health. And I thought that was good. Like I thought that the amounts of health that this game gave you, off of the enemies, pretty low, but they don't need to be very high because if you know what you're doing, you won't lose much health. And then they give you a big, huge, massive boost in the middle of the level, which is great because it kind of helps with the checkpoint of being like, okay, listen, you figured out how to do the first part. Now it's time to figure out how to do the second part. I think it all worked. I think the only time I really abused this was in Fireman's stage. The mid-level health drops that are just sitting there are
Mm.
not guarded by any kind of enemy, and moving on to the next screen is a ladder instead of a drop. So you can just go up and down the ladder to reload that screen and
Oh,
take those
nice.
health drops there without having to engage with any kind of danger. It's a zero risk, refill your health to full type of situation.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I didn't know those because I feel like sometimes they don't respawn, but it's because it's a
I
ladder, I guess.
I only figured, well, no, it's because you can go back to the earlier screen and just
Uh.
if you totally phase out the screen and reload it, I guess, and you can't always go back, I think usually you're dropping. I only figured this out because you know that thing I do where sometimes I fuck up what button I pressed and I just go back to the screen I was on before. I did that and I was like, oh shit, they're back. Oh, we're doing this.
It finally paid off.
It paid off.
I do think it's sort of whack that your lives don't refill if you, like, let's say you beat a boss and you only had one life left. You still have one life when you start the next level, which I feel like is just, well, I might as well just kill myself then until I have a
Mhm.
full life counter again. You know,
Right.
that feels like just kind of an oversight.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted in this game, but maybe it's too abusable, I'm not sure I stand on it, was I wanted an auto fail option, right? Like I
Mm,
wanted the ability to just be all
yes,
like,
yeah,
like because I think like when I beat Fireman, like the first thing like I was like I don't even know why, but for whatever reason I pressed start and immediately loaded Cutman stage, and I was like, this was not what I wanted to try next. I wanted to
oh
see if
yeah,
I could beat Elec Man's
yeah.
a little bit easier with this power. But I guess I'll just test this out now because this is the stage I'm
Yeah, you
on.
know what
And
this option is called in modern games? It's called pause, return to title screen.
yes,
Like, yeah,
yes,
it should be an
that would
option.
be fine. Yeah, that would be fine. Return to title screen or yeah, because I was like, is it too abusable? Because you just don't die. But I guess there's not that really like a
No,
consequence for you. Yeah, so it's
no.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be
I don't know
fine.
why they don't have that.
There is a score in this game, and it is
Hmm.
after this Mega Man, no other Mega Man game has a score. So once again, because this is, I believe, yeah, the same year as Castlevania, okay, it's 1 year later, but we also talked about this. How I think developers were just now starting to realize that we don't need to do scores anymore.
Yeah. N- The funny thing is that your score also persists through your like 3 lives. And like I wasn't paying any attention to it until Gutsman's screen, where there are 3 enemies on screen, and they're each worth 500 points. And I kind of realized, like before you get to the platforms that kill me every time, and I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, how come sometimes killing these 3 enemies gets me 1500, and sometimes killing these 3 enemies gets me 3000? And I was like, oh, because my score doesn't reset when I die; it resets when I continue. I see. So I don't know. Are you like supposed to die a bunch of times so that you can get the full score on each life? I don't know.
Yeah, is there like are there different tiers for speed runs and shit? Your max scores, you have to beat the level 3 full times with
Right.
dying at the end or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's insane. There are also
Uh,
enemies will drop little balls which are just for points. Which,
okay, I wasn't sure what those did.
yeah, they're literally
I
just
thought maybe they
points.
were points or ammo or something.
It's sort of interesting
It doesn't.
actually. Yeah, well, I
It
mean,
doesn't say what they are in the manual.
yes, it is straight. They are not in the manual. It is
I
weird.
I checked. I was like, what the fuck are those?
Well, you will notice when you beat a boss, I mean, you
Mhm,
didn't, but you could. The
mhm,
I believe the way it works is they don't actually give you points right away. And at the end, when you beat a
mm,
boss, it will show you the little ball symbol, and like that's when you get the points. It'll show you like times this many. Here's your added to your score.
mm.
I don't
They
know.
did drop a thing that you picked up, so that might be right. I just don't watch the score too closely, so
Yeah, I mean it's yeah. Why would you in this game? It doesn't. It's not like there's not a like. Why? What's it doesn't. We don't need to talk about the
yeah,
score again. But it's
yeah.
pointless. All right, and of course, we also haven't talked about Doctor Light and Doctor Wily, who created the
Yes.
robots.
It's really funny reading because I kind of forgot the good doctor's name. So like reading the manual, I'm like, yeah, Dr. Wright, Wright. Like that's a normal name for a doctor. And then I was like, "Oh, Dr. Light. Oh, I see what happened here."
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
Explain it to me.
hmm. Well, it's a little bit racist.
Oh, well, in that case, that's for the Patreon. Next week's racist episode. Yeah, but they're fun. The story obviously is these NES games. The Mega Man games do eventually kind of get more story stuff, especially like the sort of more RPG-ish spin-offs. But yeah, it's every game they made more robots. Go
Mhm.
get those robots. Now, these final levels that you didn't get to experience,
Mhm.
uh, it is basically, Dr. Wily shows up and you're like, okay, he's selectable now on the screen. Here we go. It is 4 levels in a row. It basically 4 levels the same size as, each of the previous ones. You do get as long as you don't turn the game off, there's a checkpoint after each level. So, you do have to play all 4 in a go, but you don't have to replay each one as long as you don't restart, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And they have some sections with boss rushes, so no pun intended, he's not in this game. So, you have to, refight Cutman, and then right after that is
Mhm.
is Fireman or whatever. And that's when you really have to know, like, okay, this weapon, then this weapon, because there's no health refills in between some of these, and it's that part can be tricky. The most infamous boss in this game, who maybe you've seen or heard tell of, is the Yellow Devil.
I'm not sure I have.
You should just right now. You should just Google a picture of the Yellow Devil, because I think you'd really like him. He kind of looks like
Mm.
Sweetums from the Muppets, is how I think of him. Not really, but he's like just a big yellow thing with a little red eye in the center of
Oh, I
his body.
really like him. I
Yeah,
like him a lot.
yeah. He's got like big arms and legs. He doesn't have a head. Like his head just is his body, his chest, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. And uh other I think probably including Dr. Wily himself. I'm not sure. He probably is the most difficult boss. It depends. So the way he works is he moves across the screen in segments. So parts of his body separate and go to the other side, kind of reconstituting himself until they're all there. And then once
Mhm.
he's complete, he shoots at you, and then he does it again and goes to the other side. And every one of those body parts, when it flies across the screen, if it hits you, you take damage. And the only way to dodge them is to, be really good, or there is a pattern you can memorize. And if you do, you can avoid the damage every time and shoot him in the eye. It is quite challenging, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not, once again, I sometimes I cheat in games, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. But this is one of the most famous game cheats, because for many people it's the only way they could get past this. When you're fighting the Yellow Devil, there's a glitch because of the NES processing power, how limited it was. When he opens his eye, you pretty much can only shoot him the one time. So you have to like go back and forth avoiding his damage a bunch of times before you can kill him. However, on the original game, at least, not in like remakes or ports often, if once as soon as that bullet is about to hit his eye, you rapidly pause and unpause the game multiple times, and every time you do it, it will register it as another hit, a new hit. So that's the cheap way to beat him, and I fully did that. I was like, no, it's fucking annoying. I did it the first time I played it, and I did it this week, and that's how I'm always going to do it. But yeah, that's the Yellow Devil. He does come back in
That's
other
funny.
games too, but he's fun.
Mhm. I really like him. I mean, the disassembling part not so much, but he kind of gives me what's the name of the big red furry Sasquatch guy from Looney
Oh,
Tunes?
yes, that's
He gives me
more what
this
I was thinking
same
of.
vibe as that guy.
What? Because I feel like he has a name that's similar to Sweetums. It's like Smoochums or something. Looney
Hmm.
Tunes red guy. Nope, that's not even close. His name is Gossamer.
What?
That's his fucking name,
That's
Gossamer.
insane. Gossamer? I've definitely never heard that before. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the comparison for sure. Yeah, he's good. All right. So Mega Man. Now, this is one of those games, like we said, I knew you were going to struggle with it, but I was hoping with the ease of play and the cute little guys that this might be more in the realm of Mario than Metroid, where the mechanics you could appreciate, the aesthetics you could appreciate. But let's hear it. We're going to give our final IGN ratings for Mega Man, starting with you, Will.
Me, Will,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Well, for the audience, I said your name because they might forget.
Right, they might. It's true. Um, yeah, so a lot of the things that you said did really help with this game. Even if you're not very good at it, there are 6 levels to work at. So, in a situation where I had to beat like Cutman and then Gutsman and blah blah blah, right? I would have gotten really hyped up on Cutman stage, and then I would have just gotten stopped dead, and then I would have been like, can't play anymore. I'm done. That's the end. Or in a situation where Gutsman's stage was first, I just wouldn't have even played the game. I would have had to like decline to review it effectively. Um,
Mhm.
but because there are 6 stages, there's a lot of like fun to be had and interesting things to do, no matter how bad you are, right? Because you can always just say like, fuck that. I'm gonna go slam my head against something else for a while now." Um, in general, I do think that it is uh fun and fulfilling to get through sections. Um, when you are playing the game, right, there is this sense of figuring it out. And when you've kind of got a section at least sort of mastered or an enemy sort of figured out, it does feel good that you're able to get through it. Um, the guys in it are fun and cute. The music is good. The backgrounds are good. So like the graphics are quite entertaining, colorful. It is a good experience playing it for sure. When I got stuck on the platforming, it did though make me uh I was thinking about it because that is getting stuck on that is very disheartening. I think this is a very easy game to get burnt out on if you aren't continuously making progress. I think that if you are making even the tiniest bit of incremental progress, it is a lot of fun. But if you are absolutely stuck, it is not fun to try it over and over again in the way that, again, the gold standard, something like Mario, I still have a good time failing the same thing over and over. This is something I brought up on the podcast before, but it is a rule that I stand behind. I think that if you really, really, truly love something, you should love failing at it, right? Like you should come home and say, not come home, but like you should get done playing Mega Man and say, like, I couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't get anywhere. I fucked everything up. I just didn't do anything, but I had a good time because I played Mega Man, and that's what I wanted to do, right? But I don't necessarily get that sensation out of this. So I did contemplate that a little bit during the points in this game where I was burnt out. Like, how much of enjoying playing this is me actually enjoying playing it, and how much is me enjoying doing well at something, because those are a little bit different. Um, that being said, yeah, I think that it is fun. I think it's good. I think it's rewarding, and I like a lot of the things that it is doing. Um, I I am going to give Mega Man 1 for the NES. Um, let's say I'm gonna give it an it's a pretty high score, I think. I
And
really like it.
you say that implies there's a
Yeah,
vowel
it
coming
does.
next.
It does. I think I'm going to give it an 8.4 out of
Wow.
10.
Wow.
That's what I think I'm going to do.
Holy shit. Wild.
Anyway, that's my score.
Wow. Well, okay. Everything what you said about you should, if you're running against a wall, failing over and over again, and you love it. That is how I feel about Mega Man as a whole. I think that's I mean, that is what
Mhm.
this series is to me.
Mhm.
I love the process. I love the struggle.
Mhm.
Like it's not, like I said, if there was no struggle, then
Yeah.
I'll play another game. Like that's what I'm here
Right.
for, is the challenge. I'm here for that.
Yes. No, I do want to differentiate between like I hit my head against it for like an hour and I managed to get past three more enemies versus I hit my head against it for an hour and I made zero progress. Right? Like those like that is like when I say you need to make incremental progress to really feel good or for me to feel good, I mean increment like very incremental is good enough. It's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a big fan. I mean, I more or less just want to echo everything you just said. Uh, I love the designs. Mega Man himself. I love the different weapons. There are some shortcomings with this game, and I think now you have seen other Mega Man games but not played them, and
Mhm.
really all my reservations with this game, a lot of them come from knowing where the series goes next. And almost in sort of a, for me, a Pac-Man to Ms. Pac-Man way.
Mm.
I know, or even maybe a Metroid to Super Metroid or Metroid 2, whatever the fuck you want, you pedants out there. um, I know that this series has better in it. For me, Mega Man 2 is kind of the peak, or like where they really hit their stride. Mega Man 3 is also great and also brings in some additional mechanics that I love to the series. So I kind of look at this game and I'm like, yeah, this is great. They established the formula, but I know what it is when they're all the way there. This is like season 1 of The Simpsons or something. This is like, yeah, when this was all there was, this is great, but I've seen where they're going to go. The music gets better, the gameplay gets better, the levels get more interesting, the enemies get more varied, and the weapons get more fun. I know that there's better stuff in store for this franchise, and there's some stuff in this that's like some of the weapons you get from the bosses, I just don't think are that fun to use. There's like two or three of them I really like, and then there's a few that are like I'm really never going to use that unless it's a very specific case, which isn't as much fun to me. There is stuff like the Yellow Devil, which I do think is not even really a fun kind of difficult. It's just annoying to me, which is why I use a glitch to beat him. So I'm a little more measured than you. And weirdly, I am going to give this a lower score than you. I think I'm going to give it like an 8.1, I think is what I'm going to say.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that almost all the things you brought up as this game is not living up to its potential are things that I did not even get to. Right? Like you're talking about some of the boss fights are annoying. Okay, I never even saw that. Or like
Right.
some of the weapons are not that fun to use, whereas I know they could all be fun to use. That's not really a part that I engaged with. Yeah, so I can sort of see that, right? Where it's like I'm judging this on how much fun I had while failing, and you're judging this on like what the game offered you when you just did it. Right. And I
Hmm.
think those are two very different metrics and maybe fundamentally it's not really possible for either of us to judge it from the other's perspective.
I mean, you might say that that's true of every game we play,
That's true,
or
but
most of them.
I feel like this time everything that you mentioned was like very specifically a thing that I just didn't even engage with at all. I
Hmm.
was I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking when I played this, when I played Cutman stage, and then I got stuck on Gutsman stage, I was thinking if all the other four stages I get stuck on in the same way, um, I, like I might decline to rate this game. I might say I don't think I played it. But that didn't happen, so it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This does make this is only the second time in Bad with Games history you have given a game a higher score than me.
Mhm.
The other one being Final Fantasy.
which was very close to this in terms of score. For
For
those of you
you.
keeping track.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, they were very close, yeah.
Pretty close for me too. I mean, it's 7 to an 8.1. you know.
Mhm.
But although I don't well, for me, I don't know my rating scale, but like I I have much more fond associations with Mega Man than Final Fantasy, but that's because I haven't played all the Final Fantasies, and again,
Mhm.
I most of my Mega Man memories, like 1, 2, and 3, they're all sort of a composite in my mind of like I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also curious when I see the Mega Man games you like more. Maybe I will like them less because, the stuff that makes Mega Man fun to play for me as a shitty gamer will not be new anymore. I'll be like, yeah, that's good, but I've seen it before. And the stuff that they improve on, I won't get to see. So who knows, right? I have
Yeah.
no clue.
Well, they all, at least all the NES ones, do share this, the same format. So you'll always have that,
Mm,
oh, I can try everything
right.
thing. I am very glad that you liked this because I wasn't sure. Like, I really would like to at some point. I think it's actually already. I think I have it in the schedule for next season,
Hmm,
or
hmm,
maybe after the season after. Do Mega Man 2,
hmm,
possibly Mega Man 3, because especially Mega Man 2, I think that is, like I said, that's really the one I think that is the most beloved of the franchise, that where they like maybe it just came out at the right time. Like the first one had gained some traction. This one hit. It was the one that really refined everything. So it feels like the one to play. But but it also, it is a refinement. It isn't really fundamentally different to. So I did think, like, if you hated this game, I don't think
hmm.
you would really get anything more out of playing the second one, and we might have just had to skip it just to avoid torturing you.
Yeah, it would be so unpredictable because, like, that the thing that would have made me hate playing this game would have been if all of the levels were locked out behind difficulty, and I think sometimes it's hard for you, especially, and I mean, it's hard enough for me to judge what's going to be like. Can I start any of these levels or can I not? Which ones can I start and which ones can't I? I don't know how predictable that is.
Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But I'm glad, and also because of how our Patreon is currently scheduled, we're not discussing, for instance, the Mega Man cartoon on the Patreon this week.
Yeah,
So we do
yeah.
need another Mega Man game at some point to make that happen. I guess we could just do the
Hmm.
cartoon later. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to align. But
It should
also,
align though.
again, the Mega Man cartoon didn't come out until like 94 or something.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I was thinking that. I was like, "Oh shit, why did we put Mega Man here and not do the cartoon?" And then when I was looking through the game, I was like, "I do remember enough about the cartoon to know that it probably goes with a different game."
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
so I think that's
it
fair.
was
Maybe this should have been
originally
Astro Boy, but whatever.
yeah,
We
sure.
flipped things
I
around.
moved Mega Man up, so that is why
Yeah,
it didn't go with
these things
anything.
happen.
But I think for just for the flow of the show, it made more sense. I wanted
Hmm,
another,
hmm.
I'm trying to make sure that we're peppering in games that I think are actually good and not like, you know,
Yeah,
the shit that, like, we ended up liking Pirates, but, I was worried last week that that might have been a disaster, and I wanted to make sure we
yeah.
had some colorful fun in here. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much Mega Man we can dive into. Like I said, there's Mega Man X. There's plenty of that if we want more Mega Man in the future. There's some great if we do that stream, which I guess we're doing, we announced we're doing it.
Hmm.
I have there's a great Mega Man, there's a few like Mega Man collections you can get that have a bunch of the classic games with quality of life updates and stuff like that. So just maybe we can try some of that. Would be fun. I
Yeah.
think maybe we haven't done it in a little while. I think maybe we should do a bonus video for this game of me trying to coach you.
Yeah, I'm curious how that would go.
This feels like
I think
one to
it's
do
doable.
it.
I think it's doable. I think there are because what I need for that is to have a stage where I think like it is possible to make progress, and I think I have those. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think we could do it. We could do it.
yeah. We'll figure that out. All right. So Mega Man, I regret to inform you, I don't really have a classic review corner segment for this one this week.
Oh no.
Other than to just tell you generally, it was highly regarded. Everybody liked it, but for whatever reason, I just not as many of these reviews I could find archived from back in the day online. So, people liked it. People loved it. Like I said, it didn't. As I said in the intro, it didn't do great out of the gate in America. But they kind of took a chance, saying, you know what, it sold okay in Japan. Like, go ahead and make the sequel, and that was the one when people were like, oh, this franchise is great, and it became a big hit. And by the way, the box art for the sequel is not that much better than the first one.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so Mega Man, a lot of fun. Is there another segment we do? I mean, I do have an email. We just get to that.
Yes, we do. We do have emails. The MMOs are minimal mail openings if it's only one.
That's right. A minor mail opening.
Minor. That's what it is. Yeah.
But that might make people think it's a.
Oh yeah.
We're in caves with headlamps.
Right.
As of course
like Jack Black.
Right. Remember when he yearned for the mines?
I sure do.
Well, we should have a new segment in every episode where we figure out how the movie version of each game would go with Jack Black in the lead. It's always putting Jack Black in. And maybe Chris Pratt. It's one of the two. It has to be one of them.
Yeah.
That's the game. That's
we
the
just
segment.
Get a set cast where it's like you pick one of two people for like primary, secondary, tertiary roles. It's got to be them.
It's time for another edition of Black or Pratt. Who's gonna be Mega Man?
Why does that sound so disgusting? Black or Pratt? Ew. Ugh.
Let's not dwell on it.
Ugh.
Maybe Jack Black plays Dr. Wright or Dr. Light, whatever the fuck his name is, right?
Maybe he does.
Or maybe, and then, this feels like...
He feels like he would do Dr. Wily better, but he looks like a Dr. Light.
Well, here's what I was going to say. This might be I don't think he would go for it because it feels like treading territory he's already trod upon. But Dr. Wily, played by Jim Carrey... I mean,
I don't care if he's already tread upon it. He can do it again, and I will love it.
Dr. Wily is sort of the same thing as Dr. Robotnik, isn't he?
Yeah, not that far off.
Yeah.
Sonic fans are fucking fuming right now. We'll get to your game, and I might change my opinion when we get there. Don't fucking tear me apart, Jesus Christ.
All right. Here's an email this week from Steve P., our bud.
Yay!
In which he comments on last week's game, Sid Meier's Pirates. Steve P. writes, I liked your summary of this game. Quote, here is a system and you can play within it however you want. End quote. You made it sound like my ideal open world game, as opposed to the open world games that just stuff a city full of trinkets and minigames and map towers. I've never played this game, but now I want to. However, I have played Uncharted Waters, no relation to Forgotten Waters. It's similar to Pirates in many ways. You can sail around, explore the oceans, sell stuff, be a pirate, fight other pirates, upgrade your fleet, and buy the loyalty of the world's ports. Uncharted Waters gives just a bit more structure and guidance than Pirates without feeling restrictive. For example, the stated goal is to get on your king's good side, but there's nothing stopping you from defecting and looking out for number one. I recommend Uncharted Waters for all Pirates fans and map fans.
Wow. Have I heard of Uncharted Waters, or am I conflating it with Uncharted?
You must just be thinking of Uncharted.
Okay. I was like, if you haven't heard of it, I definitely haven't.
Yeah, I am not familiar with this game. I'm seeing now it is a Koei game, who they have a whole series of In fact, this might be one of the ones that's on the. I've made this mistake. I've been wrong about this before, but I think this may be on the Switch Online Super Nintendo service. But they have a series of sort of historical sim games, like a lot of them are a Romance of the Three Kingdoms sort of thing, where you take on the role of an empire and you get to, buy and sell stuff and go to war or whatever. But yeah, I'm not I don't know this particular game, but yeah, oh yeah, I'm looking at this box art. I have tried to play this uh one of these games, Uncharted Waters New Horizons, which I guess was the sequel on the Super Nintendo, and was just baffled by I had no fucking idea what I was doing. But it might be one of those games you need a manual for. Anyway, we'll
Could
take a
be.
look at that. Steve P also has a question.
Hmm.
The question is, are your Patreon bonus episodes as long as the public episodes? Now,
I would say on average, our Patreon bonus
well, before
episodes.
you, I don't.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I don't know what's the right answer to get people to sign up. do we do they want it to be long because they want content, or are they like, please don't make me listen to another 3 hours a week? What do we say? How do we lie? All right, tell
Hmm.
the truth. You can tell the
I
truth.
I assume that he wants it as long as possible. Um, that's what the listeners crave. They want the content, they want the slop. But
Mhm.
I would say on average, our Patreon episodes are probably about an hour and a half, give or take. So a little shorter, but not that much shorter.
Yeah, it feels short when we do it, but it's really not that
Yeah.
much shorter. It always feels like, oh boy, we're done already. But that's because we
Mhm.
don't on the Patreon. We don't have like all these fucking segments. We don't. There's no
Right.
fat. We just kind of talk about the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So if you like these episodes, but you don't like this section right now where we're talking about the Patreon.
Oh, that might. I mean, whatever. But yeah they're around 90 minutes. But sometimes they're like an hour 45. Sometimes they're an hour 15. But yeah,
Mhm.
90 minutes is pretty much the standard. So listen, you're getting your $5 a month worth. And speaking of which, thanks for that segue, Steve. This week on the patreon.com/badwithgames, unfortunately, we couldn't discuss Mega Man because it's already slotted in. We are continuing from last week's episode in which we discussed the original Planet of the Apes. We decided, just for fun, we would also watch the second film in the franchise, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. You can find that over there. And I'll remind everyone to check out our sister YouTube channel, Worse with Games. You can find that link in the description or search it up for yourself, where probably uh, later on in the week, you will be able to watch Will playing some Mega Man. In addition, with us commenting on it live when we play it, not when you watch it. And if you're a patron, you will also get access to that early. If that goes up, you will get that. It'll be there now. Everyone else will have to wait a little bit. So, little incentive for you. Plus, you can chat in our Discord over there. A lot of fun. And email us. If you've got a question or comment like Steve P, send it to badwithgamespodcast@gmail.com. What's your Mega Man feelings? How do you feel about boss weaknesses and Yellow Devil glitches? And Rockman versus Mega Man. Oh yeah, I was also going to ask you, Will, which boss is your favorite? Just in terms of the vibes, the design. Which one do you like the best?
I mean, out of the ones I actually got to see in the game to fully judge, I do quite like Cutman, but I just in terms of the sprite that jumps down when you start the level, I like Gutsman. I like he's just a big old guts guy. He's
I
good.
I think those are the correct two. It's Cutman is number one. Gutsman is very fun. Iceman just looks like an Ice Climbers ripoff. He looks like shit. Ice Climbers, I'm pretty sure, did come out before this. I mean, Ice Climbers isn't exactly a bold original design, but Bomb Man is nothing.
Mhm.
Fireman is like what is he got the Olympic torch on his head? I don't know. He looks like shit. Elecman is just a guy with a fucking Bart Simpson head. I don't know. Yeah. Those top two are the ones. And Yellow Devil is the true winner,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you count him.
Yellow Devil looks pretty great looking him up, but
All right. Hey, you want to know what we're doing next week?
I guess if I have to know.
Next week, we're back to one that might be boring.
Oh, man. I'm excited for that.
You all demanded it. It's time to experience one of the true progenitors of role-playing video games. We already played...
Another one.
That's right. We played Wizardry. Now it's time to experience Ultima. Ultima 1... the First Age of Darkness. I believe that subtitle was added later. We're going to check this one out and see how one of the very first most influential RPGs plays, and how games like Final Fantasy drew from this as well as Wizardry. That'll be fun, won't it?
I hope so.
I think it will.
Maybe.
Probably.
Well, if it's
Might
not,
not.
then our listeners can just hear us wish we were dead.
I don't know. Maybe people don't like it when we have fun with the game. Maybe they're like, this is boring. We want you to
feel
suffer.
like maybe they like us suffering. Yeah, exactly. We'll see.
Stay tuned for more info. Chat with us in the Discord. Let us know what you think. All right. See you next time.
Till next time. Gamers out.
Sure. Megas out.
That's our thing that we say. We say gamers out.
Hey, where's Mega Woman? You know? Oh, that won't make it in.